D.U.H, Department of Understanding Humans, yeah.
Happy 4th of July.
Hello there.
Hello there.
How are you?
Good, how are you?
I am A-okay.
It's America.
America.
It's time to have some beer and possibly blow our hands up.
Right, my poor dogs have been freaking out all weekend because my neighbors have these ginormous boomers. Like, it's just BOOM! And it lights up the sky and it's raw.
Oh yeah, and they've been lighting fireworks off since Friday.
Yeah, because, America. So,
Because why not?
Because why not? So I actually have kind of an agenda today.
Ooh.
I know, don't freak out. This is a one-time thing. I probably will not be this organized again. But knowing what today is, an agenda.
Yes.
Knowing what
Dun
today
dun
is,
dun.
I want to do a little bit of a history lesson. Yeah.
Let's do that. We've got a lot of history fans.
We've got a lot of history fans and our tens of listeners. We've got, now I know that we've got probably, if they're still listening after a 2-year hiatus, I know we've got a couple that are in the UK, and a couple in Canada, but the majority of our audience is here in the US. And so I want to do something that I need to do for me, not necessarily, I mean, it's selfish. It's totally because of me. It has nothing to do with anybody else. I don't care about anybody else. This is all about me. Okay. So what is today?
It's Independence Day.
Okay. So what is Independence Day for whom, from what?
We freed ourselves from the yoke of the oppression of the British Empire so the colonies may be free to forge our own destiny called America.
America. Okay, so I was looking at the actual Declaration of Independence, which was signed into Congress on July 4th, 1776, which is what we're celebrating today, right? Which is today's July 4th, 2022. You guys can do the math and figure out how long we've actually been, air quotes, a free country. So the first thing I've learned is we are the only country in the world that has a constitution like this. Now, a lot of this, keep in mind, a lot of this I learned when I was in government, in my government classes down in like 8th grade. Okay. But some of the stuff I've really kind of refreshed recently because I want to know, what are we actually fighting for? What are we actually wanting? Why is America actually that special? Because, if you watch mainstream media, if you listen to the woke, if you listen to the left, if you listen to some of the right, if you listen to some of the libertarians, if you listen to college kids that don't know a whole lot about life, our country is run by narcissistic white males who love a patriarchy and want to rule and have power, right? I mean, that's kind of the gist of things right now. But that's not the case. That's not actually what's going on in the world. So the first paragraph, I'm going to read the first paragraph of the Declaration of Independence. It was the unanimous declaration of the 13 United States of America, when in the course of human events it becomes necessary for one people to dissolve the political bands which have connected them with another, and to assume among the powers of the earth the separate and equal station to which the laws of nature and of nature's God entitle them. Let me read that one more time. The separate and equal station to which the laws of nature and of nature's gods entitle them. A decent respect to the opinions of mankind requires that they should declare the causes which impel them to the separation. Okay. Then there's obviously the most commonly known, we hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. That to secure these rights, governments are instituted among men, deriving their just powers from the consent of the governed, that whenever any form of government becomes destructive of these ends, it is the right of the people to alter or abolish it, and to institute a new government laying its foundation on such principles and organizing its power in such form as to them shall be most likely to affect their safety and happiness. All right, that's the first two paragraphs. As you go down, obviously there's more, but one of the things that they say at the very bottom of this, and this is where I was kind of like, wow, I never really paid attention to this until recently. The very last two sentences of the preamble to the Constitution. The history of the present King of Great Britain is a history of repeated injuries and usurpations, all having in direct object the establishment of absolute tyranny over these states. To prove this, let facts be submitted to the candid world. And then there's this list of all the grievances that the king had done, the king and country of Britain had done against and to the colonies in the United States. The very first one, he has refused his assent to laws, the most wholesome and necessary for public good.
Yeah, King George was not a good guy. Let's just go ahead.
He was a bad dude, It goes on about...
He was not a good ruler.
Forbidden laws, etc., for cutting off our trade with all parts of the world, for imposing taxes on us without our consent, for depriving us in many cases the benefits of trial by jury, for transporting us beyond seas to be tried for pretended offenses. Does that sound familiar to you at all?
Hey, I kind of wonder.
I mean,
I've heard that somewhere.
I'm just wondering, does that sound... For cutting off our trade with all parts of the world. Okay. For imposing taxes on us without our consent? Oh, hang on a minute. For depriving us in many cases the benefit of trial by jury? What's going on right now? What is the big hubbub in Washington, D.C. right now? Not gas, not taxes, not COVID.
Well, I am not a constitutional lawyer, but I've heard many a constitutional lawyer say, okay, I get why we're doing the January 6th trials, but there's a lot of things wrong. Yeah, they're not trials. They're hearings. And we're not allowing, and I get it, okay? I get a lot of people do not like 45.
Right.
I get that.
You can't arrest
not
him
a big
for
fan
this.
of him either. But you got to let him defend himself.
Yeah, and if that's what this is,
it's fair.
Yeah, if it's a hearing to deal with everybody involved, then where's Pelosi? She's just as involved. She was just as guilty for letting that happen. It's come to light that they didn't call the National Guard when they were given permission to. She was the line of defense with the Capitol Police. But still, okay, I don't want to get into all of that, but
right.
These are the things, and why I'm bringing this up is these are the things that caused the American Revolution. That actually created America. One of the reasons that a lot of the immigrants in the South want to come to America is because they have a better chance of having a really great life. Granted, they need to do it legally and with consideration of, but at the same time...
I want to touch on something you just said.
Yeah.
Go ahead and finish up, but we're going to... Excuse me, I'm going to use the phrase. We're going to circle back to that.
We're going to circle back to that.
Put a pin in what you just said.
I will put a pin in what I just said. The pin is immigration. Okay, so that's the Declaration of Independence. The Declaration made way for the Constitution, okay? And I'm not going to go into the Constitution. The Constitution has so many different sections and articles, but the preamble to the Constitution is, we, the people of the United States, in order to form a more perfect union, establish justice, ensure domestic tranquility, provide for the common defense, promote the general welfare, and secure the blessings of liberty to ourselves and our posterity, do ordain and establish this Constitution of the United States of America. This Constitution is what separates us from the rest of the world. The Declaration of Independence, there's a lot of declarations of independence forms in all of the countries around the world. Okay, even Canada has their own form of a constitution. It's different, but they never actually declared themselves independent from Britain. They still have the Queen on the money. And they still abide by some of those laws. This Constitution is what sets us apart. And it sets us apart with one huge section called the Bill of Rights. And the reason these are important is if you listen to the preamble to the Constitution and the preamble to the Declaration of Independence, and keep in mind, if you go look, and these are on archives.gov, okay, the founding docs, archives.gov, it is a government run. And if you don't trust, like if you're a conspiracy theorist out there that thinks that somebody has gone in and possibly changed any of the wording, you can find copies of the Constitution, in the Declaration of Independence and the Bill of Rights all over the internet. And if you go into you ready for this? Local library, they're printed in books that haven't been touched by anybody, okay? So, so one of the things you'll notice when you look at these is how they wrote it. It is basic, common sense language. And when they say certain things, you'll notice that the letters are capitalized for when in the course of human events, the laws of nature, nature's God, and creator, capitalized, which means it holds weight. It's important. It's a being. It's a noun. It's an adjective. It's an adverb. It's everything. It is a thing, right? So when you look at the preamble of the Constitution, it says, for the blessings of liberty to ourselves and our posterity. That's a thing. That's a thing that is given to you at birth. Okay? If you are a living, breathing human being on this planet, you have an unalienable right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. The blessings of liberty to yourselves and your posterity. The natural creation of things. You have a right to those. They are a born natural right. If you go to anywhere in the world that has no constitution, no government, nothing like first world, right? These exist. And it's the way a human treats another human. They exist. You don't have to look for it. It'll be there. Okay? If you just sit there long enough and pay attention, there are laws and tribes that have been created for the safety of people, but each person has their own value. Okay? In the Declaration of Independence, the Constitution, and the Bill of Rights, it states the difference, and this was kind of brought up this week about the difference between may and shall. You may, like you might, you can, it's okay, you could, you shall, you will, you do. Shall means it's going to happen. There's no, you will have it. You do have it. So on that, I just want to go over the Bill of Rights. I'm not going to read through all of them. I'm just going to read through, there's 10 amendments, okay? I'm not going to go into depth of them. They were the first 10 amendments of the Constitution. It spells out Americans' rights in relation to their government. It guarantees, and this is from the Bill of Rights, it guarantees civil rights and liberties to the individual, like freedom of speech, press, religion. It sets rules for due process of law and reserves all powers not delegated to the federal government to the people of the United States. And it specifies that the enumeration of the Constitution, the enumeration in the Constitution of certain rights shall not be constructed to deny or disparage others retained by the people. So this is the base of your rights as a U.S. citizen, as laid out by the first 10 amendments of the Constitution. And basically what it's saying is nothing can be written to counter this. It can only be written to enhance it, like the civil rights, right? As time went on, from 1776 to 1966, they realized, well, we really need to put in something for the Emancipation Proclamation. We really need to put in something to help clarify that everyone in this country is actually free. And that's where the Civil Rights addition came in. Now keep in mind, having said that, I want to say one thing, and I'm only going to say this once. The United States was not unique in slavery. Slavery was all over the world. Slavery still is all over the world. And it wasn't just black people. There were Irish, white Catholic Irish. There were white Europeans. There were Asians. There were French. There were Italians. there were black, there were Indian, and I mean like Indian, Indian, not Native American Indian. There was slavery everywhere. It is not unique to the United States. The United States, however, what is unique, fought against it, continues to fight against it, led the charge in fighting against it. There is still slavery in this world. Some of it Nike, some of it Disney, some of it Africa, China. I mean, it's everywhere. It's still everywhere. And then and on some level.
Oh, wait a minute! I gotta stop you right now, Rachel. Wait a minute. You just shut your mouth right there. We're not enslaving anybody. Nobody. Shut up. Get back to work.
Oh,
Mickey
yeah, give me those sneakers.
I need a new pony. Come on. Minnie needs a new dress. Come on.
Anyway, I want to go over I want to hit just the highlights. The First Amendment provides several rights protecting and expressing speech, protecting the press, protecting the right to assemble, your right to protest, and prevents the governments from creating or favoring a religion. That's the First Amendment. It's really important that people listen to that. The First Amendment provides several rights protections to express ideas through speech and the press, to assemble or gather with a group to protest or for other reasons, and to ask the government to fix problems. It also protects the right of religious beliefs and practices. It prevents the government from creating or favoring a religion. Now, the last line there, prevents the government from creating or favoring a religion, is because what did the king do? He had his own church created because he wanted things to go his way. So the First Amendment gives you freedom of speech, freedom of the press, freedom to protest.
Church of England.
The freedom to assemble, and the freedom of religion. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rights in the First Amendment. First Amendment. The Second Amendment, which is up for a whole lot of debate lately, protects the right to keep and bear arms. One sentence. The Second Amendment protects the right to keep and bear arms. The Third Amendment prevents the government from forcing homeowners to allow soldiers to use their homes. This was a Revolutionary War thing. And this was, if you think about like World War II, when fascist regimes went in and stole people's homes, and they used those homes as base camps, and they tortured and raped and pillaged. That was World War II. Look it up. The Fourth Amendment bars the government from unreasonable search and seizure of any individual or their private property. The Fifth Amendment provides several protections for people accused of crimes, including a right by trial by grand jury. They cannot be tried twice for the same offense, also known as double jeopardy, or have property taken away without just compensation. People have the right against self-incrimination, which is, I plead the Fifth. And they also cannot be imprisoned without due process of law. This is important because there's January 6th people that have been arrested and left in jail since January 6th with no due process. This is important, but I'm not going to go into it too much. The Sixth Amendment provides a trial by jury. The Seventh Amendment extends the right of jury for federal civil cases. The Eighth Amendment bars excessive bail and fines and cruel and unusual punishment. The Ninth Amendment, states, this is interesting. The Ninth Amendment is kind of like a coverall. The Ninth Amendment states that listing specific rights in the Constitution does not mean that people do not have other rights that have not been spelled out. That's where civil rights comes in. The 10th Amendment says federal government only has the power delegated in the Constitution. If it isn't listed, it belongs to the states or the people. So those are really important. And if you want to know more about those, please go look them up. Again, it's archives.gov, the founding docs. You can find all of this information online. I mean, it is the internets. So why did I bring all this up? Because there's a lot of people that out there think the country should be a certain thing. It should be something else. And there are a lot of people that they haven't really paid attention in school, because they weren't really taught this stuff after us. I don't think some of the younger generations were taught this as much as we were.
No, I highly doubt that they were.
Yeah.
I know there are a few of our listeners, some who are very dedicated fans, who are teachers.
Right.
professors of history, students of history, who are teaching this to the younger generation now.
Right.
But I do believe a lot of young people, in fact, I know my young people have not been taught this, have not been taught basic civics.
Exactly. Our
And
young people
it's
haven't
shameful.
either. And they are the kind of people that would think Hugo Chavez is really cool. But they didn't looked at
exactly.
what exactly he did. You know, I think a lot of people didn't understand why so many people that are more I guess middle of the road libertarian constitutionalists, why it was such a big deal that they were calling Trump a fascist or a Nazi. Why Republicans or conservatives don't like being called Nazis. Because these people that are calling people this, they're actually just trying to sling mud, and they have no clue what they're actually saying. They haven't actually done the homework. You know, and so I think my Independence Day request would be, if you're hearing this and you don't understand why the mainstream media is so dangerous right now, and why there's some of us in the silent majority that are holding tight to these documents, these 3 documents from 1776, because this is what sets us apart. This is what keeps us free. This is what keeps us safe. And we are getting ready to head into a very dangerous summer. We thought the summer of love was bad. And if you don't know what I'm talking about with Summer of Love, about a year and a half ago or 2 years, was it last summer or the summer before last? With all the BLM riots and stuff. It was right after George Floyd.
Yeah, it was. I think it was the summer before last.
Okay, so it cost
It was
billions.
chaos.
It was chaos. It cost billions of dollars. It cost lots of lives. It destroyed cities, even worse than COVID itself, shutting down everything. Then you've got this insane rioting going on over something, and we weren't doing anything then. We didn't touch it, but I'm going to touch it real quick right now. People made an assumption based on what little was out. They freaked out and blew everything up, burnt things down. Then, months later, when all of the truth finally comes out, it just kind of gets swept under the rug, and it's like, oh, sorry. I mean,
I will say this. I'm gonna, and I understand what you're saying, but I will kind of go on this. It was something that never should have happened.
Correct.
And
I'm not
escalated
saying
the way it was. No,
Yes.
I understand what you're saying.
Yeah,
I completely do. However, the situation when it all came out and was shown, the real tragedy is someone died when they didn't have to.
Right.
And it was pushed to an extent where that never should have happened.
Never should have happened. Now, I'm not saying your voices shouldn't be heard and your anger shouldn't
Exactly.
be shared. But there's a way to do it that doesn't cause more problems. There really is. And I'm not doing what some of the mainstream media or even some of the liberal city leaders have done. I'm not calling you to arms and telling you to take up arms and run off like they are, because they are. They're doing what they're accusing other people of doing right now with Roe v. Wade, with everything else. I'm not saying that. I'm saying do what you need to do to protect yourself. Stay safe out there. Okay? Don't be stupid. If you're in a city or if you're near a city that could be like a powder keg, stay home. If you can get to work safely, get to work safely. If you can keep a fire extinguisher in your car without it exploding from the heat, that'll help you keep people off you if something happens. If you get stuck on a highway that's blocked from protesters, find another way around. Don't even engage. Just don't even engage. If you feel comfortable with a concealed carry, make sure you know how to use it. Make sure you're going to classes. Make sure you've spent time in the range so you know what it feels like when that little sucker kicks back. But I'm not saying go do things. I'm not calling for violence. I'm calling for you to be smart, keep your head about you, And just be aware that it's not over yet. We've got a lot going on. It's going to be going on for a while, I think. And we all just need to be smart. We're in a great country, a great country. I know that there's a lot of people that are kind of anti-American that live here. They're just ignorant. They really are. They're just ignorant. They don't know any better. They don't know how to find these things or think with emotional intelligence or critical thinking. But if you're listening to us, chances are you have a sick sense of humor and an amazing brain. Because we are those people. We are the people that like to nitpick and be stupid, but at the same time also be smart about being stupid. So just, be careful wearing the loud t-shirts that say stuff, depending on where you're going. Like, I'm not going to go in the middle of downtown Atlanta wearing something that's going to have some homeless person walk up and shiv me. I'm not going to do that because, wow, we have a lot of homeless going on in Atlanta. But just please be safe. Because this country is worth fighting for. But we can't fight if all of our voices are snuffed out completely. And I mean, when I say fight like hell, I mean like George Washington, fight like hell. I mean protect yourself against tyranny, fight like hell. I don't mean grab a baseball bat, go to Kroger, and take out some eggs. I mean like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not asking people to risk their lives in stupid ways.
Go to Kroger and take out some eggs.
Do you know what I mean? Because there are some people
exactly
that might
what you mean.
There are some people that might listen to this and go, "Oh, so you just asked for us to turn into like the Uvalde shooter?" And I'm like, "No, fuck no." I'm asking you to be smart.
Okay, know what is? First off, I think our listeners. I'm going to use the Tommy Lee Jones statement from Men in Black. A person is smart, reasonable, rational. People are dumb, panicky animals.
Yes.
I don't think the people or persons that listen to this or listen to what you're saying are going to go, well, geez, let me pick up this gun and pick up this baseball bat and go mow some people down. No, we're not saying that. No one is saying that. I'll piggyback on this and just use the phrase, live and let live.
That's a good one.
Okay? Like Chris Rock said in his song, you wearing your new Pumas and someone steps on them, let it slide. It ain't worth killing somebody over some tennis shoes. It ain't worth going to jail. Let it slide. You can have a difference of opinion with people.
Yep.
And you can talk and you can work it out. And you can have a debate. There's nothing wrong with that. But if you, and I think this is what has gone on in America too much, we've stopped talking to one another.
Yes.
We've stopped listening to one another. We've stopped talking to our neighbor. I'll give you a prime example. In my neighborhood, I know 3 or 4 people in my neighborhood, the direct around me.
Right.
I know my neighbors. We've had a new, I can't call it a family because it's like it's almost like a commune that has moved in next door. Because you can tell it's 2 groups of husband and wives, and I'm not saying anything funny is going on there. I think it's people that pull their resources together, bought a house.
Right.
And they're just living there, kind of communing. But they make no effort to say hi to anybody. I have waved, I've said hello, and and they go back in the house. That goes on too much in America. You're not saying you have to be best friends with a person that lives next door to you. But by God, say hello. Talk to them. Know who they are. Talk to people. Don't let the box tell you what's going on. Be informed.
Right.
Do gather that information. Don't completely shut it out because you got to get some news. You got to get some information. But formulate your own opinion. Don't blindly march and follow. I've used this story in past podcasts that we've told. Had a child. How did you get here? I don't know. The GPS told me.
Oh, right. That one.
So you let the machine tell you where to go. Well, yeah, it gives me directions. You let the machine tell you where to go. Do you not pay attention to what it's telling you? No. Well, you don't know how you got from your place to our home, so you don't know how to get back if I took that away from you. No. That's a little frightening, isn't it?
It is. It's so frightening. And after you had shared that with me, I went out and bought maps.
Right.
Because I'm like, oh my God, you know what? If the world goes tits up, or we go off the grid, or we lose something, or my phone dies, let's not even go shit hits the fan scenario. Let's just go, oh, my phone died. Do I know how to get where I need to go?
You need to know, okay, some sense of direction that's going to get you close. I mean, highway. Do you know how to get from Atlanta to Birmingham? Which highway do you take? Read signs. See, I mean, you gotta. I don't know. I think we have come so far with everything, and information is at our fingertips.
Yes, it is.
Readily available at our fingertips. But it's also made us very, very stupid. We don't think for ourselves. Not everybody, but I
admit it. I have dumbed down. I have dumbed down. I mean, it's just...
Common sense is out the window right now. Okay, there's a person sent me a video of their child trying to open a glass soda bottle. With an actual, Coke bottle, glass Coke bottle. They're trying to use a can opener to open it. Now, your can opener has a little prong on it.
Right.
That allows you to crack the top open, flip the cap up. They were trying to take the part you put on the can to open the can and twist it open that way with the can opener. They had it in between the two, sharp pieces of metal that you puncture the can with and then twist your can opener to open the can. That's how they were trying to open the bottle.
What?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
That's not how that works. That's not how that works.
Let me just tell you something. Young people. I hear young people tell me, "Oh, we can beat you, old man." Oh, really? Don't make me take that fucking phone away from you and give you a rotary dial phone. Try to communicate to somebody. Go ahead. Use that rotary phone. Here, you want that food open? Here's a can opener. Figure it out. I can defeat you by writing in cursive and you will never figure out the code. Don't make Gen X mad.
Oh yeah, no, don't.
Don't make us mad.
We know how to MacGyver things, legit.
Yeah, we legit know how to MacGyver things.
Because we were there.
Did the cable go out? Did the internet go out? Guess what? We can pick up a book and entertain ourselves.
Mm-hmm. I've had people talk about that game that we don't talk about. They're like, I'm like, I'm going to take a break. They're like, why? What are you going to do? I don't know. Read a book.
Read a book.
Clean my house.
The net's down. Well, read a book.
Read a book.
Watch a movie. What do you mean?
What is that?
What do you mean watch a movie? Here, let me show you this.
It's called a DVD player.
What is that? What is that black thing? It's called a tape. What is this? You pop it in the VCR. What's a VCR?
That's like they don't say STDs anymore.
Yeah, right. Or now it's not COVID, it's the vid-19.
The vid-19. Yeah, it's like STDs are no longer sexually transmitted diseases. They're sexually acquired illnesses or something like that. So I don't know. Just so stupid.
Sexually acquired illnesses.
I don't know.
Okay.
I'm you're going to make me look it up. STDs.
No, don't look it up. There's no need for that. It gets so ridiculous.
Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, so STIs. They're
STIs,
sexually
okay.
transmitted infections.
Sexually transmitted infection.
Infections. I guess because they're finding out that they're no longer diseases. Some of them are actually treatable. Although I will say,
Thank God.
young men, go out there and get an HPV vaccine.
Young ladies.
That is important. Well, boys actually are the carriers for HPV. They transmit it to the girls.
No, I get that, but
and then the girls need to go out there and get it too. But
they gotta
basically,
get it too.
young boys. Yeah, but yeah, wrap that shit up, boys. Okay. Girls, don't just take it. Just have some standards. Okay.
There you go.
That being said, so I just want everybody to be careful. That's all. I want everybody to be safe, healthy, and happy, and
live
and
let
live. Yeah, live and let live. And if you don't, I'm going to come over there and throat punch you. That's it. That's all I'm saying.
There you go. I will smack you upside your head. Speaking of people that got smacked upside their heads, here's a segue.
Uh-oh.
Guess what famous? Oh, he was such an entertainer. He got 30 years. He's going to be married in prison. Robert Kelly.
Robert. Do you know
Robert Kelly.
So R.
30
Kelly
years for sex trafficking.
God, that's just so gross. Why did it take so long?
I will tell you this. His fame allowed him to escape. And what's even crazier is he was on film with a young girl. Peeing on a young girl. Videotaping it. And people going, no, that's not him. It's him. He's setting up the camera going, yeah, this me. And here I am. And there was such an outrage why he didn't go to jail because of that. But it took so many people going, okay, enough is enough.
So
it's
apparently
done.
They're protesting him being on suicide watch? Like, that's standard procedure to put somebody in certain instances when you go into jail your first week or so you're on suicide watch because of the adjustment to being incarcerated. But they're trying to they're protesting or something, and then something about his attorney was actually going to sue the city or sue the jail.
Yeah, he's going to sue the city of Chicago
for suicide watch. I'm like, dude, you're an idiot. You're an absolute idiot. What's the matter? You don't want to Epstein or something?
Well, he was on the island too.
Oh God. Dude.
R. Kelly was on the island.
So if R. Kelly was on the island, Epstein accidentally killed himself. How long do you think the chick is going to last? Ghislaine, her name, Maxwell?
Well, I don't know how long Ghislaine is going to last.
You think
but I do think we are not done with this. I think the dominoes are going to start falling since she got 20 years, which is surprising that she got 20 years. I'm so
excited about that. But do you think they're going to name names because she had to turn in stuff, didn't she?
I think we're going to start seeing some people fall.
We just spent 2 months talking about Johnny Depp and Amber Heard and how Amber Heard pooped on the bed, left a grumpy, and all this other stuff. And things came out in that I didn't want to know about. I didn't want to know how much cocaine they were doing. I didn't want to know that they were doing ecstasy. I didn't want to know, but I do want to know, are the Biden family beholden to China and being blackmailed? Is their son engaged in illegal activities? I mean, hello, laptop from hell. And oh my God, if the Clintons were involved with Epstein and suddenly Epstein just accidentally kills himself, or surprisingly kills himself. Epstein didn't kill himself. And now R. Kelly was associated with all of that. Are these names going to come out? I wonder if he finally got jail time because Maxwell got jail time. You know what I mean? Maybe they got the book and they went, "Oh yeah, dude, we got to send him in. We got to send him."
Well, I think first off, let's just call it as it is. R. Kelly is not a huge major player in the Epstein thing. He was doing his own thing and just kind of happened to go there every so often.
Okay, that's fair. But he's still disgusting.
Okay, I mean, let's face it. Robert Robert Kelly, R. Kelly is not a master criminal. He's just a stupid sexual deviant. We'll just go ahead and paint that picture. I don't think, Lex Luthor there is sitting there going, yeah, I need me some young girls. Gonna get me a young girl, trap her in the closet, all that shit. No, I don't. Look, he's not a criminal genius. He's just, as I said, a sexual deviant. And finally, enough people said your fame is not going to protect you.
Right.
And I think that's the biggest problem with a lot of people who are that, is that they are shielded and protected by a certain anonymity. Sorry. Fame, what have you.
Anonymity. I can't wait to see what
them.
Dave Chappelle comes up with R. Kelly.
God, I'm waiting for that.
I can't wait.
But
Dave Chappelle
you talked
brilliant.
about Johnny and Amber. One of the biggest news things out of Johnny and Amber is he's going to be back in Pirates of the Caribbean.
Is that legit?
With a $301 million payday.
Couldn't pay me $300 million.
$301 million.
And a group of alpacas. Did he get his alpacas?
And a group of alpacas just to boot.
So is that for real, or is that just cannon fodder?
No, that's the alpacas is cannon fodder. But yeah, Disney's going to give him $301 million.
Is J.K. Rowling going to let him back in Fantastic Beasts?
I think. Well, I don't know. Is Warner going to let J.K. Rowling back? I mean, let's not worry about Johnny coming back. But I mean, they won't let J.K. Rowling come back.
Why?
And it's her series. I really don't know. I know she's on the outs with Warner over something.
Oh, I bet you it was some kind of tweet or something.
I don't know. I think the whole Harry Potter series is done now with this last film. I think they're more concerned with what's Ezra doing now. What's
I don't
Ezra
think they're
doing
let Ezra
now?
back. Well, Ezra died, didn't he, in this last one?
No, I'm talking about Ezra. Oh, you mean Ezra Miller, the character?
Yeah, the character
that he played.
Doesn't he die in this last one? I think.
I think he. I don't know. I've not seen it.
Well, it looks like Warner Brothers, as of 4 days ago, has actually supported J.K. Rowling.
Oh well, okay. There's a shift in the wind there that I didn't know about.
The PR tried to distance the author from the Harry Potter franchise. Sky News reported while interviewing, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, no, they're apparently Warner Brothers, as of 4 days ago, Warner Brothers stands by J.K. Rowling, proud to work with the author. So I guess that was a press cannon fodder.
Well, alrighty.
Well then, yay. Okay then.
All right, all's right with the world.
Good, yeah, we're good.
Bring on some more Harry Potter stuff.
Right? Bring it! Bring a lot of it! I like all of it. I really think that she could do a lot with the franchise.
Well, I think so too. I mean, look, I'm not a huge Harry Potter fan, but I see the appeal of it for people. I really, really and truly do. I would kind of like to see more new things like that, or some more tales of other things that have happened. What I'm tired of with Hollywood
is world, you mean, or just
right in the Wizarding World, maybe
general?
because in general, I think the whole going back to, I guess it was the 20s or 30s, whenever they were in. What was it, the 20s with the guy that had the animals and the beasts? And
yes, it was pre World War II. It was just before World War II.
Just before World War II. Okay, because I enjoyed the guy that was Jacob the Baker.
Yeah, he was.
In what I've seen of it, to me he stole the movie. Okay. Mm-hmm. And Eddie Redmayne I love him as an actor. If you get a chance, he played Stephen Hawking in a Stephen Hawking biopic.
Yeah. He's done a lot of really great stuff.
Phenomenal. I would like to see more of that kind of thing from Harry Potter, the beginning, where it all came from. Do I want to see Daniel Radcliffe as older and having kids in Harry Potter? Not really.
No, I like the prequel stuff. I like the older, like what led up to all that.
Right, I like the prequel stuff. And I think Daniel Radcliffe is kind of done with Harry Potter.
Yes.
Although, if you want to see something good with Daniel Radcliffe, talking about entertainment, uh, I'll say it in a minute. I had the thought, and I've lost it, but it's on TBS. Miracle Workers. Sorry, regained it. Miracle Workers with himself, and Steve Buscemi are in the show, and they keep going back and forth into different little segues. The first season was Steve Buscemi as God. Okay. Daniel Radcliffe is an angel. God decides.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Steve Buscemi is.
Steve Buscemi is God, and God is an idiot. He can't read. Okay, God is an illiterate idiot, and he can't read. Yeah, I know it's sacrilegious, but you sit back and go, "Oh, the humor in it."
Oh my gosh!
And God decides during the first season is, you know what? I'm gonna blow up Earth. I'm done with Earth. I'm done with it. I'm gonna start over and have a new planet. And all the angels are going, huh? Yeah, we're just gonna get rid of Earth. So the whole thing is he's got 7 days to convince God not to destroy Earth.
Oh my
That's
gosh.
where Miracle Workers comes in. The next season. It's Daniel Radcliffe is a prince. He's heir to this kingdom, and he's a foppish, kind of unworldly prince. His father is just this ruthless, freaking tyrant, bloodthirsty maniac, and here he is, sweet little guy. And Buscemi is a peasant, so they work together. Now this last season was the Oregon Trail. Miracle Workers, the Oregon Trail. If you have not seen this, you gotta watch it.
Okay,
There's
I'll add
so
that to
much
the
good
list.
humor in it.
I love both of them, and he has proven to be, Daniel Radcliffe has proven to be very amazing. Have you seen, oh God, the latest movie with Sandra Bullock and Channing Tatum and Daniel Radcliffe?
No.
Oh my God. Okay.
There's a movie with Sandra Bullock and a... I saw the Bird Box thing or whatever that was.
No, it's not Bird Box, which was kind of cool.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, okay, but if you like Stranger Things, you might like Bird Box because it's kind of all the Eldritch things.
Okay.
Okay. Anyway,
I did not care for it, but anyway, that's just my opinion.
This is absolutely hilarious, and it's called The Lost City. And
The Lost City. Okay.
The Lost City. It is hilarious. Sandra Bullock is a romance novel writer that never leaves her house. Channing Tatum is the cover model for her books. And you ready for this? Daniel Radcliffe is the evil mastermind he kidnaps Sandra Bullock, and Channing Tatum tries to go and rescue her. And it is the funniest thing I have seen in a long time. I mean, I guffawed so hard and just died. And the chemistry between all of them, and even just the outtakes and the interviews and stuff, they're just amazing. And Daniel Radcliffe has really come into his own, and it's totally you can't even look at him and think Harry Potter anymore. You can't.
Right. You think of something else with him. You think of other things
him and
now
you're
that
like,
he's
oh my God,
breaking free of the...
Yeah, he's totally this guy now. He's just totally this guy. And
I'm sorry, I'm going back to Miracle Workers. The guy that plays Dupinder from the Deadpool movies is in it too. Anyway, go ahead.
I love Dupinder. But he plays in this movie, he plays a man named Abigail. That's all I'm going to tell you. You have to
A man named Abigail.
A man named Abigail.
I've kind of heard this similar kind of plot twist before. Maybe not so much, but Romancing the Stone. Back in the 80s, there was this movie with Kathleen Turner and Michael Douglas.
Okay, so that's different. Kathleen Turner just kind of happens into the wrong situation because her sister got swept up in something.
But she's a romance novelist that never leaves her home.
That never leaves her home. Well, so Sandra Bullock writes a book about a treasure based on the fact that before she was ever a romance novelist, she was an archaeologist. So she actually kind of has some education. And so Daniel Radcliffe's character believes that this treasure actually exists. And because she wrote the book, he wants her to help him find it. So that's
Romancing the Stone.
And you know, it even involves the small little car from Romancing the Stone. But it's just different. It's not Romancing the Stone,
No, it's
but it's still different.
It's got some subtle differences. But I'm just going to tell you, they took the plot from Romancing the Stone and made it a new movie. Sorry, I'm not discrediting this. That's a decent, watchful movie. But they took the idea from that.
It is the thing, because Hollywood has no original ideas anymore. If they want to call me, I've got a lot of ideas for some stuff that nobody's done yet that would make you guys millions. But just
I'm just waiting for the Sharknado reboot. I mean,
how many Sharknadoes
now
are
more
there?
than ever, there's 6, but they've ended it at 6. But if we need a Sharknado, we need it now more than ever.
6? Are you sure?
I hope so. Or Tremors. We need another Tremors sequel for sci-fi, because 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 Tremors isn't enough.
What about the Blob? Do we have any? Oh, Hocus Pocus 2 is coming out.
Yeah, Hocus Pocus 2? Did we really need a Hocus Pocus 2?
No,
okay.
We don't need Bette Midler again.
Not really.
We just don't. I mean, no. And Sarah Jessica Parker did not age well. No.
No,
another
it's okay.
Another Elvis. Yeah.
Oh, Elvis is actually good.
Yeah. I mean, but anything on Elvis is probably good.
Elvis is good. It's actually a pretty decent pick. Okay, since we're talking, we're gonna get a second Shazam. Mm-hmm. The Rock is going to be Black Adam. I can't wait to see that. I want to see The Rock finally. They've been teasing Black Adam for the longest time.
Did you finish Stranger Things?
I haven't even watched Stranger Things. I haven't watched one episode of Stranger Things because it just hasn't caught my interest.
What about The Umbrella Academy?
Again, didn't catch my interest. I will give it a watch.
I'm surprised.
I know I've been into The Boys.
That's next on my list, yeah.
Okay, I've been in The Boys. And of course, I finally saw the latest season of Letterkenny.
Wait. Did you see Shoresy yet?
I have not seen Shoresy yet. And I wanted to finish Letterkenny first before I saw Shoresy.
So, the husband has gotten me...
Balls a tug, eh?
Give your balls a tug! The husband gave me vinyl pops of the Letterkenny crew. And Wayne comes with a puppy. And they're all holding Pupper's beer.
Yes.
But the Shoresy spinoff is freaking hilarious. You actually kind of fall in love with Shoresy. Because it's all about them playing hockey and chirping at each other.
Chirping at each other. The chirps that Shoresy does are probably the best part of the show, and the fact that it is Jared Kesso playing Shoresy in this, because he is Shoresy. It took me a couple
episodes to realize that he was actually Shoresy, until when he was doing a handstand in the shower and doing push-ups. I was like, wait a minute, those tattoos are dudes' tattoos.
Yep.
Oh my god, he's
Wayne,
actually Shoresy.
Are you know?
Couldn't you?
Couldn't you?
Oh,
I
love it. How are you now?
Good Canadian humor, and it's all Alberta, Canada. You got a
problem with Canadian gooses. You got a problem with me.
Canada goose. Got a problem with me, Canada goose.
Think about it.
Stuart the Skids.
Stuart.
And then, to me in Letterkenny, the best episodes deal with the Mennonites and all the subtle jokes that the Mennonites said. Because Noah
Dick pie.
You've been good to me and our people, Wayne, and I have been tried to be good to you.
The dicks have been good to you.
But today we are in need of dicks. Charity and Chastity Dick. The names of the people, the relatives, and all the things they're going to have. One of the latest episodes is, Wayne, I have come to thee to invite you to a sausage party. Oh, what, Noah? A sausage party. All look dumbfounded. And he means nothing by it but just to come and have the sausage that he made.
Yes.
But they're all going... A sausage party, all right. the subtle humor in the Mennonites that come to visit and get involved in these things, you'll roll over the innuendos, all the sexual innuendos over it.
It's so funny. It's fucking embarrassing. Damn coach.
Embarrassing.
Oh God, pitter patter. Let's get at her. So many great quotes. There's so many great
Riley
quotes.
and Jonesy.
Yep. Oh my God. And they go back and forth. Well, I see that your shirt got delivered. Where's the rest of it?
Great execution, bud. You're doing great.
You're softer than a cinnamon sampler.
You write Taylor Swift lyrics and birthday cards and pass them off as your own. Or to beef. But anyway, okay, so we're going on and on about Letterkenny. Robert's in jail. We talked about the Constitution. We've talked about our favorite shows.
Yep.
I know we're late to the game with this, but I'm going to touch on one subject. The Batman.
Not bad.
Everybody raved about the Batman.
It was not as bad as I thought it was going to be. It was actually kind of good.
Yeah, it wasn't.
I'm getting tired of Batman reboots, to be honest.
It wasn't as bad, but I will say this. There were some parts of it that were incredibly good. Yes. Andy Serkis as Alfred, great role.
Oh, I do like him in that role, yeah.
And I can't think of his last name that played Jim Gordon, but he did a great job as Gordon. Excuse me. However, the music score was great, but the 3 hours of the Batman, when you're like, ooh, this is good. Oh. The entire movie, this is how I felt. Ooh, wow, oh.
Yeah, I mean, okay.
That's a good. Oh, what?
Yeah, what? You just kind of get these little moments where you're like, oh, more. Frack, what the?
What is this? What?
Zoe Kravitz as Catwoman. But still, Colin Farrell as Penguin. Like, seriously?
Yeah, I was surprised. I was very surprised as Colin Farrell as Penguin, and then he pulled it off.
He did. He pulled it off really well. I think Robert Pattinson didn't do too bad.
Meh.
But, like, I mean...
Alfred, wait. The bat signal. Master Wayne, they're waiting on you. I'm putting on my eyeliner, Alfred.
Yeah, I'm not emo enough.
I have to put all my eyeliner on.
I think the thing that bothers me about that is, he had big shoes to fill, obviously. But
he had huge shoes to, and he didn't fill the suit.
He didn't fill the suit.
I'm sorry, he didn't look physically intimidating as Batman.
One of the things that really bothers me about Robert Pattinson is everything he does seems the same. Now, Inception was a little bit different. Not Inception, Tenet. He kind of had a really good run with Tenet. Because it wasn't anything emo, it was just being a British dude. Right? But anything that's emo, you immediately see Twilight all over again.
I will give one movie that I did not see him as Sparkly Vampire. Water for Elephants.
I haven't seen that.
That is an excellent film.
Okay, I guess I'll have to go look at it.
Yeah, it's got himself, Reese Witherspoon, and Christoph Waltz.
I'm looking.
You got Christoph Waltz in the movie, so it's automatically going to be good. I love Christoph Waltz. He plays. It's set in the Depression. He plays a veterinary student who's getting ready to graduate, and his parents are Polish immigrants. He's all this proud deal. They die on their way to his graduation.
Oh shit!
And he loses it. He loses it because they put up the house, they put up everything for him to go to college, and then he graduates, they die, the bank goes, we can't leave you the house. We're taking it. They're dead. We have to get her, and they leave, he's left with nothing. So instead of going on to becoming a veterinarian, he kind of loses it, has a moment of crisis, hops a train, and he doesn't realize, but he snuck aboard a circus train.
Oh, cool. Okay.
So, he's discovered as a runaway. The story goes from there. and he becomes a circus performer because he starts taking care of the animals.
Oh, nice.
And Christoph Waltz. Oh yeah, Christoph Waltz is this kind of domineering. Yeah, cuckoo. Very,
Cuckoo, Mr.
very
Bond.
controlling. Very this. If you do so great for him, and you do as he does as he says, he loves you, and you get the whole world. But if you challenge him, he will find a way to kill you. And the whole deal is he starts training an elephant because he knows what to do taking care of animals. And I don't know where they got this I forget because it's been a while since I've seen the movie. But the elephant responds to Polish commands. So they got it from a European circus or a European zoo or something. So the elephant responds all to Pattinson.
Nice.
It's a great, if you haven't seen it, I think it won some Academy Awards, but it truly is a good film, a good, entertaining, you'll watch it and enjoy it film.
I loved him as Blofeld.
Yeah. Oh, he was good as Blofeld in James Bond, wasn't he?
Yes. Hello, little brother. You go cuckoo. What happens in a cuckoo's nest? Cuckoo. And on that note, we're way
Happy
over.
4th.
Yeah, happy 4th.
We're way over, aren't we?
We're way over. Oh, yeah. We were trying to keep it like 30, 45 minutes. We're an hour.
Yeah. We can trim some of it down.
We don't care.
We
we don't care. We're back. We don't care.
You can find us on Podbean. You can find us on iTunes. You can find us on Google Play. You can find us pretty much everywhere because we just put it everywhere. We're going to put it out there.
It's all over the place. And it's on YouTube again.
It's on YouTube again.
Yeah. So eventually we'll start, being like super productive and all that kind of stuff. But in the meantime,
baby steps.
We don't care.
Yeah. We're having fun doing this.
Yeah, it's fun. All right, then. On that note, say goodbye, Chris.
Auf Wiedersehen.
Auf Wiedersehen.
Baby.
Welcome. Bitte, baby.
Bitte, baby.
D.U.H. Department of Understanding.